What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Well, we are finally here. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 10. The Bachelorette Gate, I guess is what we're calling it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So, let me just say this. The Bachelorette party looked like it was a lot of fun. I saw way too much of the ladies that I never needed to see. I mean, all the ladies had on lingerie, thongs and stuff, and that was a lot of hanging out. Okay, uh, Cynthia, they had her, they had an outfit for her, and Candy was the mistress of the night, and they were doing the whole role play where she was the mistress, and they had to do what she asked them to do, and it was fun, and everybody was in character. Even Kenya was rolling around and popping her booty all over the place. Um, it was fun. It was fun. Candy, of course, Candy ain't no fool, honey. She was having placement products all over the place because all them sex toys and stuff. Bedroom by Candy, okay, or was it Candy Bedroom Candy, whatever it is. The little vibrating, the little panty thing, you can get that on her website, okay? She not stupid. Um, Everybody was a good sport, and it was fun. It was fun. Bolo was there, and of course, Bolo was a legend. Everybody know who Bolo is. Well, at least Bolo's member is a legend, and he performed. Candy gave the ladies money so that they could, tip him well. Um, the drinks was flowing. Everybody except for Candy, she had a glass of water, but the drinks were flowing. And Bolo performed, and then he left, and then the ladies uh, were drunk as hell, and inhibitions were lowered. Um, they told the camera crew, they asked Bolo if he would come back out for an encore performance. He said he would. And at that point, they asked the camera crew, can you turn the cameras off so that we can have a good time without worrying about the cameras? Like, we did all of this knowing that the cameras was rolling. Let's take the cameras down and let's really have a good time. Now, the cute thing that they did was everybody's confessional was turned into like this Basic Instinct moment. Wasn't that the movie with Sharon Stone with the white dress where she has the infamous leg cross situation? And so that was cute, about the whole what happened that night type situation. Candy also has a sex swing. Like, everything you saw is something that Candy sells on her website, okay? As the night went on, the ladies were getting, drunker and drunker, and more, loose and flowy with, things. They asked the camera crew to shut it down. The camera crew was like, cool. They took the mics off. They cut the cameras. And the house actually had cameras set up, for them to film. Baby, they turned them cameras to the wall or covered those cameras up. And so for the rest of the night, all we could see was in shadow. Bolo came back out for a Bolo After Dark performance that we could not see. We could only see shadows of things happening and being said. And now here's the thing. I'm not about to sit here and go through every little what happened this. I'm going to go through the timeline as I understand it, and then we're going to get to the rest of it. So the next morning, of course, the ladies are drunk, hungover, whatever. But everybody agreed that it was a good time had by all. There's only one person who was trying to figure out a whole nother situation, and that would be Kenya. Kenya said she came downstairs at about 6 o'clock to get some milk out the refrigerator, and she heard, basically, this sounded like people having sex down the hall. She wants to know who it was. The rest of the ladies, as they're waking up, Candy, let me tell you something. Candy is good at this, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas mentality. Because Candy was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. And it was cute at first, but as the day went on, people started getting really, really annoyed at Kenya's insistence on knowing what happened. So here's the timeline as I understand it. Kenya went to bed first because, of course, she's got the baby upstairs, and she said she would come back down, intermittently throughout the night she came back down, and she said every time she came back down, it was stuff going on. You know, we know that there was some girl on girl action. We know Portia was a part of it. We know Toya was a part of it. We know that Drew had a moment with the stripper. But let me tell you what happened with the stripper and Drew. Y'all know how, if you've ever seen male strippers, you already know that male strippers are real touchy-feely. They get away with stuff that, you know, and we know that they'll flip you around and they'll do the pump, like, you know, the fake pump thing or whatever. It happens all the time. Like, so I feel like that's what happened with Drew. Look, Bolo done flipped Drew around and was doing a little pump against the table. I don't think it was anything deeper than that. All right. Then, at some point, Marlo went to bed, and then Cynthia went to bed. And it seems like the people who were left there were Shamia, Portia, Tanya, and LaToya. When Candy went to bed, I'm not sure. But somewhere that was the timeline, right? So Kenya said she came back down around 6 o'clock because she heard these sex sounds, you know, while she was supposed to be getting milk for the baby. But she sat there for 30, 45 minutes listening. While the baby upstairs waiting for the milk? You were that nosy? That while the baby was upstairs waiting for the milk, you was listening? Now, Cynthia said that she came down at one point during the night and there was some things going on and she sat there and watched. Listen, I ain't mad at you. Listen, you know. And it seems like the next morning everybody was like, Bolo ain't leave till 7 o'clock in the morning, child. Now, later on in the episode, Marlo said she heard it too. Candy heard it too because it was down near Candy's room. The difference between Marlo and Candy is that they didn't say nothing about it. It was kind of like, they were like, oh, that's what's going down. All right, let me roll over and go and get it in. Nobody else, except for Kenya, was turning this into a big thing. So, that morning they woke up, Candy, Marlo, Portia, maybe Drew, went fishing. The rest of the ladies stayed back at the house. So it started off with Cynthia and Kenya by the pool talking about it, comparing notes. Now, Cynthia had talked to Drew, and they're comparing notes and timelines and putting stuff together. Then, who came out after that? Then, LaToya came out. So Kenya starts, you know, questioning LaToya. And LaToya's like, girl, what you talking about? I mean, LaToya is playing real stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about, girl? What you talking about? Then Tanya and Shamia come out. And, I mean, Kenya has turned this into a whole courtroom. And, well, where were you between the hours of this and this? And what were you doing? And what was this? And what was that? And like I said, at first, it was cute. And the ladies were laughing about it. But at a certain point, it was like, all right, Kenya, let's move on. Like, it happened. It was a good time. We had fun. Let's move on. Kenya continued, and then she got it to the point where she had narrowed it down to, in her mind, it was Bolo, Tanya, and Portia. Candy was like, why are we still talking about this? Like, by this time, they are fixing dinner. They doing a crab roll that Marlo had to come save the day because, child, poor LaToya ain't know what she was doing. But it's like, at this point, why are we still talking about it? We said that what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon. Like, I thought we all understood that, especially in front of the cameras. Like, if we want to get together and Kiki and Kaka later on, shout out to Jada Nerd, and later on, off camera, fine. But while the cameras are rolling, like, we agreed that whatever happened. Like, we covered up the cameras. We sent the camera crew home so we could have a really good time. What we don't need now is it playing out on camera. I really feel like this is how the ladies are thinking. Like, we don't need this playing out on camera. So, Shamia got irritated. You know, she goes upstairs to talk. Portia and Tanya upstairs talking. And she goes upstairs to talk to Tanya, and they go through letting Portia know what happened by the pool. Because remember, Portia went fishing, and she was like, "Why is Kenya turning this into such a big deal? Like, it is what it is. It happened. Like, you got people that really have situations at home. Why you got Drew? You implicating Drew? We know her husband crazy as hell. Tanya got a whole fiance. Like, why you you're turning, and even if it all went down the way it went down, girl, if you don't keep your damn mouth shut. So, and Marlo even said in her little confessional, snitches get stitches. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm good. So, the other okay, so before I get to the rest of that, Kenya and Marlo actually had had a conversation, and they actually made up. Like I said, at this point, I don't even care. Okay, y'all made up. Both y'all said some nasty stuff to each other for whatever y'all's reasons were. Who started it, I don't know. Who kept it going, both of y'all. Glad y'all was able to talk it out, clear the air. So, while this is going on upstairs, LaToya is downstairs because now Portia's pissed. Now, I will say this. Portia, after your "who said that" moment, you're not trustworthy, child. You sitting there pretending like you don't know what they talking about and that nothing happened. Honestly, Portia, you convinced me that it went down. Now whether Tanya was there or not, I don't know, but I'm pretty convinced that it was you, Portia. I'm pretty convinced. And Kenya even said, well, I know Portia's voice. I know it was Portia. I just don't know who the other voice was. Again, I feel like implying that it was Tanya. So Toya was like, now I kind of see what y'all were talking about with this whole Kenya thing. Like, she really is dragging this out. She really is making this, like, she's turning our night of fun into something else. And it's too much. Like, let it go. Let's eat dinner, let's laugh and joke, and let's keep it moving. And even if we want to talk about what happened on camera, we don't need to keep talking about what went down after the cameras went out, because that was the purpose. There was the whole reason why we sent the cameras home. Like, girl. But again, all of the ladies seem to be on board except for Kenya. And that's pretty much how the episode ended. I ain't dragging this whole thing out and going line by line. Child, listen. It was a bachelorette party. They had a good time. The scripper left at 7 o'clock in the morning. It sounded like somebody had sex with somebody, but y'all was all grown, consenting adults, and whatever happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas as far as I'm concerned. Kenya, you trying to get to the bottom of it playing Judge Judy over here. It's not cute. It was cute for like 15 minutes, but the fact that you really, really drugged this out and turned this into a whole thing, it just takes all the fun out of it. And you just not somebody that we need to invite to Vegas, girl. You could never go to Vegas with me and my friends. Nope. We'd have left you at the airport. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.